my future wife, after I married you. These are my rules. Baby, you ready? Everyone laughed softly, like it was normal, but something inside me didn't feel right because love doesn't start with rules like that. I looked at him, trying to understand, was he joking or completely serious? He smiled confidently, like this is fine, like this is love, like this is normal. My future wife, he said again, after I married you. These are my rules. That sentence stayed longer than it should because something about it felt controlling, not caring, not loving. I forced a small smile, not to create scene, but inside me, questions started rising. He leaned closer, voice slightly lower. Baby, you ready? He asked again, and I paused just for a second because that question needed an answer, but I didn't have one, not yet. I asked him softly, what kind of rules? He didn't hesitate, started listing them. You don't go out alone. You tell me everything. You don't argue back. You listen to me. Each line he said felt heavier, not protection, but restriction. My future wife, he kept repeating, like ownership matters more than connection. I felt something shift deep inside me, not love, but discomfort because love gives space, not control. I tried to stay calm, still listening carefully. Maybe I misunderstood. Maybe he meant well. But his tone didn't feel soft. It felt fixed, like already decided. After I married you, he continued speaking. These are my rules, and you follow them. Not we decide, not we talk, just you follow. That changed everything. I looked at him again, this time differently, not as someone I love, but someone I'm seeing clearly, because sometimes truth shows slowly, not in one moment, but in patterns. Baby, you ready? He asked again, this time more serious, more expecting, and I felt pressure growing inside because saying yes means losing something, and saying no means losing him. That choice stayed right in front of me. I stayed silent, too long maybe, because silence made him slightly impatient. He asked again, why are you quiet? I took a breath slowly, trying to speak clearly. I said gently, this doesn't feel right. He laughed lightly, like I'm overthinking. Said every marriage has rules like this. But I knew that wasn't true because love is agreement, not control. He moved closer again, trying to soften tone. Said, it's for your good. I'm protecting you. But protection never feels like limitation. It feels safe, not restricted. My future wife, he said once more, and this time it felt different. Not romantic, but possessive, like I'm becoming something he owns. That realization hit hard, without warning, because I never saw this side before, or maybe I ignored small signs earlier. Now everything connected, everything made sense. The small comments, the subtle control, the way he decided without asking, it was always there, just not this clear. Baby, you ready? He said again, but this time I heard something else. Not excitement, but expectation, like my answer, should only be yes. And that scared me more than anything Because love without choice is not love, it's something else, something dangerous. I stepped back slowly, creating little distance, not physically big, but emotionally clear. I said quietly, I need to think. He didn't like that. I saw it instantly. His expression changed, slightly but clearly, because he expected immediate agreement, not hesitation, not questioning my future wife. He repeated again, but now it didn't feel like future. It felt like warning about what's coming. And for the first time, I questioned everything, not just this moment, but everything before. Was this always him? And I didn't see, or did he change? Now that it's serious, that thought stayed uncomfortable but real. Because if this is beginning, what will be later? If rules start now, what will control become? Baby, you ready? He asked last time, and I looked at him with full clarity because now I knew this is not small. This is everything about my future. And I stayed silent because answer matters more than this moment, more than him. Because sometimes one question decides everything. And this was that moment, my future wife. He said again, after I married you, these are my rules. And this time, I didn't stay confused. I stayed quiet, but clear inside because something shifted. In that moment, not loudly, but permanently, baby, you ready? He asked again, and I finally spoke, slow but steady. I said no, softly, but it felt strong. He looked surprised, like he didn't expect that kind of answer from me. Because maybe before, I never questioned. Maybe before, I just agreed. But not this time, not anymore. He stepped closer, voice slightly serious. What do you mean, no? He asked directly, and I didn't hesitate this time at all. I said calmly, this isn't love. He frowned slightly, didn't like that, said, you're overthinking, like before, but now I wasn't the same person because clarity changes you completely. My future wife, he repeated again, trying to regain control of the moment, but something was different inside me now. That word didn't hold me anymore because future without choice is not future, it's a cage disguised as promise. I said slowly, love doesn't control, love doesn't decide without asking, love doesn't restrict without reason. He stayed silent for a second, then said firmly, every man does this. And that line changed everything because normalizing control is not normal. It's a warning hidden in confidence. I stepped back again, creating more distance, not afraid, just aware because awareness protects more than fear. Baby, you ready? He said again, but now it sounded different. Not a question, but a demand, and I saw it clearly. For the first time, this was not partnership, this was authority, and I refused to accept that. I said clearly, I won't follow rules that remove me from myself. He looked frustrated, now openly, said marriage needs order, needs discipline, but I knew better. Now I knew marriage needs respect, not control. He shook his head, disagreeing instantly, said, you'll understand later. When you're mine, and that word hit harder than anything. Mine, not partner, not equal. Mine, that was the truth, right there. And I saw it without confusion. My future wife, he said once more, but now it felt like ownership, not love, not care, just control wrapped in sweet words. I felt something break, but not in pain, in clarity, because sometimes breaking illusions feels like freedom. I looked at him one last time, not with love, but with understanding that this is not what I deserve. Baby, you ready? He asked again, but I didn't answer that question anymore because my answer was already clear in my silence, in my steps. I turned away slowly, not rushing, because leaving calmly feels stronger than reacting loudly. He called my name. I didn't stop, because stopping means explaining again, and I was done. Explaining truth. My future wife, he said behind me, but I kept walking without turning back, because I am not someone's possession. I am not someone's rule. I am someone with choice, with voice, with boundaries, and that matters more than love, because love without respect doesn't survive. It controls, then destroys. I walked forward, feeling lighter, not because I lost him, but because I found myself, and that matters more than any relationship. Baby, you ready? He asked earlier, and now I know my answer fully. I'm ready, but not for this, not for control, not for rules. I'm ready for love. That feels safe, that feels equal, that feels real. And this was not that kind of love. This was something else, something I escaped. And for the first time, I didn't feel broken. I felt free, completely free. Because sometimes walking away is not losing, it's choosing yourself. And that is the real beginning.